So I was like, listen, man, there is some people here that want to switch cells.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I tell you? Don't worry about it. You tell me who wants to switch cells. So then I will go back and say, listen, for $100, I can get you whatever bed you want.
Hey, this is Matt Cox, and I'm here with Juan, and we are going to do a 1-year anniversary for Juan being released from prison.
From detention, actually.
Oh, from detention.
Yeah.
Did you get halfway house? You didn't get halfway.
No, I did my halfway house under ICE custody.
Oh, okay. So,
Beautiful.
But you were released.
I was released I went home December 23rd.
So
by the time this is released,
yeah, it'll probably be
released.
it'll probably be a few days, but whatever. Close enough. Close enough. All right, so we're gonna do that, and we're gonna basically talk about. We're gonna have a discussion just about prison and prison politics and some myths. So yeah.
I think we're gonna talk about orange not being the new black, and it's funny because we had this conversation off camera.
Yeah. And
for like half an hour.
Yeah, and I said we ought to just talk about this on camera.
And then we go on camera, and I'm like,
no,
what do we talk about? You know what I mean?
It started off where we were joking about how you were telling your kids how you're like, I'm basically running this
that's
place.
Right.
Like, this is ridiculous. I'm running
my
this place.
kids, you don't have kids that visited you, of course, but your mom did.
I don't have kids that talk to me.
Yeah,
Because that's what a decent guy I am. So
Father of the Year. No, I'm just kidding. But my kids will go and visit me, and they'll say like, Dad, because they were concerned that, Dad being a little soft for prison. And I will tell them, listen.
Are you okay? Are they punking you out?
Are they raping you, Dad? Are they raping you?
Your 15-year-old daughter.
And I will be like,
are you someone?
Only on Thursdays, honey.
Are you someone's bitch?
Dad, please don't let your nails grow and your, So
you shave because your head shaved. The mop wig fits better.
Oh my God! We're gonna talk about the mop buckets in the shower, but I will tell them like, listen, I have so much control over this prison, and it's because I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
I never knew that nerd power was gonna be my savior, and they used to tell me that you've been down for too long. Nerds run the world. Everybody works for a nerd. And then you have Facebook and you have all this stuff that was developed when I was in prison, when you were in prison.
When I was in prison, listen, Facebook came out like just before I went to prison. Like, what was big when I went to prison was MySpace.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
yeah.
time.
You, oh my God.
There was no iPhone.
What year
there was no iPhone.
What year did you go to prison?
2006 is when I was caught.
So you started you didn't get, obviously you didn't get bail.
No bond. No. When you get caught with a couple dozen passports,
yeah,
they don't give you. They're afraid you're.
I didn't get bail.
They're afraid you're a flight risk.
Yeah. And so from 2006 all the way to 2019, you were incarcerated. So you didn't leave any of the technology world.
Till 2019. You're right.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, you skipped a lot. I got to the iPhone 4 or iPhone 5, but I didn't know Twitter had just come out. And Facebook used to be like a social platform.
Right.
Like people actually interacted with people, and you look up at your girlfriends, and everybody was getting divorced. But
what is it now?
Well, people now take pictures, which are still not used to that shit. People take pictures of their food.
Oh, no.
This is what I'm eating. Cook, and this is a steak, and this is a pork chop. And that to me is still a little uncomfortable.
But in prison, the thing about being in prison, listen, at the mediums and the lows and stuff, I love these guys that are like, I get these in the comments where on that Wes Watson video and all that, where the guys are like, you wouldn't last a second in federal prison. It's like, I was in federal prison. You wouldn't last a second here. You wouldn't stop. You wouldn't last a second in the pen. I know guys that were in the pen. Zach was in the pen. Like, what are you talking about?
Dude, I did 10 months in the pen.
Right. So what are you talking about? I'm here.
And it doesn't get any softer than me.
Yeah. I mean,
no,
yeah.
I mean, you could. But
so.
But I remember, dude, all these tough guys will come to me at least, and I'm sure it happened to you.
Of course.
Hey, Venezuela, I heard you know how to type.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I need you to write an email to my girl, because we had the True Links thing.
Yeah.
And they charge you by the minute.
Yeah. So the faster you can type.
The faster you type, the more you can type, and you have a time. What was it, like 15
minutes?
Well,
not just that, but the guy.
The eloquence.
Yeah, exactly. The guy can't type an
Yeah, I mean,
he can't type an email.
I dated so many women that were in my. I will just write these beautiful letters because the guy will be like, "Listen, just tell her when I get out, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you." And I say, "Okay, well, listen, I can't wait until I get out. We're soulmates. I love you not with my heart, but with my soul, which is my whole being." And they'll be like, "Oh, that's good, bro. Keep it going." And I'm like, "Don't worry about it. I'm inspired. You have a picture of her? I'm in the zone right now." And dude, it was. That's when I realized, wait a second, there is something to being smart here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There is hooked on phonics worked for me.
And then the thing is, like, that they don't pay you with money. What they do is they'll go get your commissary, like, bro, give me a couple bags of chips, or do you have a coffee? Yeah, okay, give me a coffee, and I'll
When
type
I
it.
was at the detention center, you got 15 minutes every hour. So you had to wait an hour to get 15 minutes again.
Right.
So I will
When
use
you mean
my 15.
He means 15 minutes on the TrueLink
On the
system.
TrueLinks, on the computer.
TrueLinks is a computer, because people don't realize this.
That's right.
That there's a computer system that you can write a letter. It then sends it to an off-site location. Your family can then go to that location and retrieve it. You cannot email directly to your family.
And it takes about 2 hours to get there.
Right. There's a turnaround because it has to go through a
Investigation and reviewing.
Yeah, they have to review it and everything. So what happens is, and your time. So you have to put money on the system so that you can use the computer to type it. So you have to do it as quickly as possible.
5 cents a minute.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So what happens is, after you've used the computer for, 15 minutes?
15 minutes.
Then you have to wait an hour before you can use it again. Because there's so many inmates waiting for the computers, they have to limit the time.
So what I would do is I will use my 15 minutes, then I will type for the next guy,
Oh, you can
next
watch
guy,
nonstop.
boom, my 15 minutes again, I will keep typing, then the next guy. So I will sit there for 3 hours and use the computer every hour without having to stand in line. And like I said, they'll be like, "Oh, don't get up. I'll get your stuff. Don't get up. I'll go, they're calling you. I'll go get your mail. I'll go get whatever," because they want you to keep writing.
Right.
And then, of course, there is the law paperwork.
Right.
Everybody wants to know, you know.
Oh, I've had guys that would come to me and ask me to read their legal work. Like, "Hey, I don't understand what this says." And you have to read it to them and explain, and they go, "What does that mean?" Okay, here's what it means.
You don't know, well, you know, but you guys don't know how many people I read their paperwork and they didn't know their charges.
Oh, yeah. I know guys that don't even know how they got caught.
Like, they were like, "What?" I will ask them, "Listen, what are your charges?" "Conspiracy." Dude, conspiracy to do what?
Right.
I don't know. "How long you been down?" "For 3 years." "Man, let me read your paperwork." That's when I had to explain to them what their crime was and who snitched on them and who didn't, and so on and so forth. So it's if you're not smart,
No, you've got
navigating the system is not easy, man.
Yeah. Or if you're not educated, or if you're not, if you don't have just basic skills, bro. So, and keep in mind, I worked as a GED tutor, and I actually taught what's called the skills program. So some of those guys,
program.
Bro, these are the guys that had done like, let's say they had done like 300 or 600 hours in the GED classes, and they couldn't pass the test. So then they put them in what's called the skills program.
Let me explain this to them. 600 hours of GED is an hour a day, 5 days a week.
Right.
All right. So that's 5 hours. It's about 8 to 10 years trying to get your GED. It's the equivalent of somebody on the outside getting a Juris Doctorate.
So they would get out and they still can't, they just either they can't read. And these are guys that you realize as you start talking to them, you realize, oh wow, like you don't have an average IQ. You're like at a 7, like you're like at an 80.
Correct.
Like you can function, you can dress yourself, you could maybe hold down a very menial job.
These are the people that the system stores in there. This is where the system, this is where you see the system not working.
Right. So those guys, they're and I hate to say this, it sounds cruel, but it's just, let's face it, you have smart people, average people, you have people that just aren't intelligent. And these are just not intelligent guys. Like they just can't learn to read. But below 80 IQ, you just really can't read. So, and anyway, the point is that, those guys come in there, and what we would do is we would teach them like just basic math, how to pay their bills.
I remember that. Oh my God, I remember that. It was the last classroom to the right.
How to count money.
Miss Rose and Miss Johnson, I think, run that program too.
Oh, you're thinking in the low. I was in the medium.
Oh.
So I'm dealing with those guys that are thugs.
Oh, okay.
And they would say stuff like, you were trying to get them just to learn how to count change and money. And I'd say, bro, you're saying that, look, what's a quarter and a dime. How much is that? 50 cents. No, think about it. How much is 25 plus 10? Man, I don't need to know all that shit. And okay, you do need to know it. Like, man, I'm going to go. What, you got to get out and you got to be able to pay your bills. You have to be able to get a job. Man, I'm going back to sell drugs. I say, okay, but you have to be able to know how much money somebody's giving you. Who's going to count your money for you?
Even if you're selling drugs.
Right. I said, who's going to count your money? You know what the guy said? He said, shit, my hoe count that money. And I said, yeah, but what if she counts it wrong? He goes, I put that pipe on her. She count that shit right. Know what I'm saying?
And you were like, why don't you teach me that skill?
Put that pipe on her.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know. So I remember Zach was there, and I looked at Zach, and Zach goes, I went like this, and Zach goes, well, I mean, he's right. You know,
You gotta put the pipe on that bitch.
Just like, oh my God.
When that happens, you put the pipe on that
This
bitch.
is the worst.
Dare I tell you, this was funny. I'm gonna tell you this story. This is just, and then we can talk about the jobs. Real quick, I had a guy one time. So I'm in the class, right, doing papers or what. I really goofed off, really, most of the time. They have to do, like, they've got their little things they have to do, and you grade them. But it takes no time. But I had this one black guy that used to come in every once in a while. He would walk in, and he'd take a Snickers bar. He'd walk in, and he'd drop a Snickers bar on my desk as a joke. You know, everybody would laugh. Yeah. And I go, man, get that shit off my head. And he'd go, ha ha, and he'd grab it, and he'd laugh and walk off. So one day he walks in, and I could see he was going to do it. He did it like once or twice a week. And he comes in, and he put the Snickers bar, and I grabbed it, I opened it, and I took a bite of the fucking Snickers. And he, hey, what the hell, Cox? And I go, it's on my desk. It's in the open, right? We were talking about this earlier.
If it's on the table.
It's on the table.
It's everybody.
It's everybody. It's communal property. And I said,
correct.
It's mine. You put it on the table. It's mine. He's like, motherfucker. He got furious. And I sat there and ate the whole thing. And he was like, never put a Snickers on my
Listen,
table.
those classes are fun. And those guys are phenomenal guys. I mean, my students, they love the fact that we put an effort into try to teach them something.
Yeah. Wow.
Not all of them. Some of them hated it. But I think the ones that wanted to learn something got some stuff out of prison. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know, they actually had this one guy. This is actually, I was going to say it's funny. It's not funny. I remember his name was George, and he had like a bunch of sons. He had like 10 or 11 kids, and they were all named George. Kind of like George Foreman.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So, but one of the things about him was he had gone to take the GED, and he passed everything except for the essay portion. So he had taken it twice and failed. So they're upset at this point. Now they're like, what's going on? He's passing the essay portion of the class,
but not passing
the GED. So they put him in a room with me for like a week, going over just how to write an essay. 2 weeks later, he took after the end of the week, he took the test and he passed you have to take a test before they let you take it again.
Yeah.
Took that one, blew it away, got a 5 out of 5, went and took the main test and got a 5 out of 5. And so then, and I was thinking, oh, cool. Yeah, that's good. What a mistake, bro. Next thing I know, the next quarter, I got like 6 guys sitting in the room with me teaching them. It's like, okay, when did I take on the teacher's responsibility of teaching them how to write an essay?
Correct.
Well, the funny thing about that guy, once again, not funny, super nice guy. Really liked him. Good guy. Used to see him all the time. You know, just a solid, nice black guy. Talked to him all the time. He was down to earth. He was funny, and got his GED and had like a plan. Like, here's what I'm going to do.
Correct.
I'm going to get my GED. I'm going to get out.
He
I'm going to
used
do this.
the prison system.
Absolutely. He was using it. Knew what he was going to do.
Yeah.
He was going to do this, do that. He had a cousin that did. You know. He had reasonable goals. He wasn't going to get out and be a rapper. He was going to get out, and he had a cousin, and they had a business. His business was always doing well. He needed help. He was going to...
Good.
Right. Died of a heart attack about
oh my God.
a month and a half, 2 months after he got his GED. That was sitting in his, the plastic chairs.
Yeah.
Sitting in his plastic chair, watching TV during, I don't know, some program, whatever. And everybody said he just sat there, and all of a sudden he goes... Boom. Dropped right out of the TV, dead.
Dude, you know how many people have so dying?
Oh, tons.
A month before they got released, or 2 months before they got released, and I was like, oh my God, after you do all this fucking time, the door is right there.
Well, and the thing is, you have to think, if you're stuck with 2,000 people in a small group, that, you're going to watch a lot of people die.
Oh my God, yeah, especially when they're rotating, because that one guy dies, boom, they bring
somebody
another
else,
one, and they bring another one, and it's a revolving door of convictions. It's a business.
Well,
you know?
and because you see that because so many the prison population is constantly revolving, you become desensitized. Like to me, I'd be hanging out with you for 2 years, and we were cool, we were good buddies, and ever since one day you're on the pack out, you leave, I never see you again.
I'm smiling because we're talking about this. But were you at Coleman when they did the slip and slide?
Oh yeah,
in the backyard.
Oh my God, bro! I can't. I cannot believe you just brought that up.
We had a. By the way, I had just arrived in Coleman, and they had a guy that run the rec department. I was a lady that was
lady. I was going to say it was a woman when I did it.
Correct.
It was a woman,
and she used to videotape.
You're gonna love this, Connor.
She used to videotape the activities. Remember, and then she will go like, "The rec yard activities are being played on channel 8," and then people will go and watch the video of like the gangsters. Kid you not, Matt will probably tell you his version of the story.
Because you're right on point.
Literally, by the way, it wasn't like a professionally made sip and side. It was garbage bags,
Yes.
water and soap, and you found all these gangsters running. And
It's a relay. It was like a relay, like a race. They would race
Correct.
around the track, and then when they got to the end of the relay, or why am I saying relay?
No, it was
Is
like
that's
a.
when you hand off.
Yeah, no, this was like a regular, like a marathon or something, like an obstacle race.
Obstacle course, right?
That's what it was.
Oh, that's right. Because you know what they had to do? They put the bat on their head.
Correct.
And they
had to spin around in circles.
Then they had to run the track.
Correct.
And at the end of it, you ran and you jumped on a slip and slide. And as you were sliding down, they had a line where you had to grab a flag, and whoever got the flag ended up winning the obstacle course, whatever.
But if you weren't present, you could watch the reruns on
and
TV.
you could watch, they ran the 15 or 20 minute tape over
and
it looped
over
for like a day or two. These were the gangs. These are Crips, Bloods. These are
killers,
hardened
hardcore killers
running and doing this slip and slide. You know why they stopped it?
Why?
One, the woman left, but two,
yeah, when she left, things went to shit.
Well, remember, a guy broke his ribs, or one of his ribs. He jumped in the air and landed on. It's still just a plastic bag on the ground. Bam, cracked a rib.
By the way, and I know a lot of guys are gonna comment on this thing and gonna
That's
say like,
not
"Oh, because you
true.
went to a shit prison for punks." Dude, I went to 9 different prisons.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. They moved me around. I went from a pen all the way to a low.
You know what they never? You know these guys that say all that crap that have been in. You know what they never consider?
What?
They never consider that all the guys that are saying, "Man, prison's hard, prison's tough." I could come out of prison. I could tell you that. I could tell you all that. Of
course.
I'm not saying people don't get stabbed, people don't get beat up
All the time.
But what I'm saying is, it's not all that.
Well, listen, once you're in there, you figure you gotta make the best out of it. So people don't go there to have a miserable 10 or 15
Right.
years. You
Right.
go there to kind of say, okay, I'm gonna do my time. I'm stuck with these guys. Let's try to, you
gotta
play
make the best of it.
sports and you go to classes together and you do all kinds of stuff. But they also did an American Idol. Do you remember when they did American Idol?
Oh, you're talking about it was a contest where they sung,
And they had like
vote.
the 3 judges, and there was a guy that sang like a virgin. And were you there?
This is the punk. He was. I'm sorry. He was a gay guy, right? Was a gay
He
guy?
had like he took. Do you remember the laundry bags?
Yeah, but he was a gay guy.
Well, obviously he sang like
Well,
a virgin.
I'm just saying.
But he
He
had
wasn't
like,
a virgin either.
not in prison.
From what I understand.
He took the laundry bags and he made like stockings out of the laundry bags and dude. And you know what the
Connor's like,
sad
"What's
part is?
Connor's going, what's happening? By the way, everybody, Connor
Is the new Colby.
No, not the new Colby.
Not the new
No,
Colby?
No, he's Colby's assistant.
Oh.
He's not the new.
By the way, Colby has now an assistant.
Yeah, Colby's big time.
Do you guys remember when Colby was here doing the editing and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Now he's a boss.
Yeah. He's
Next step, he gets indicted. That's what happens. You build up, boom. He learned enough here where he can.
So, all right, so
Dude,
okay.
what was he talking about? The stockings and.
you were
Oh,
like
you
a
think
virgin.
like all these gangsters are gonna be like, hey man, we're gonna stab this punk. Oh no, they're all like, woo, come on, show your ass. Loving it, bro.
Yeah, they had karaoke night. That was because they had
the
karaoke.
karaoke
they had like
nights,
karaoke
too.
Thursdays or something.
Yeah, that was a little bit annoying because then it's always the same guys.
And you could hear, if depends on what unit or if you were outside, you could hear them. It's annoying.
Yeah, and it's the same guys singing the same fucking songs. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
listen,
Gotta mix it
the
up.
Mexicans are gonna sing the same stuff, and the black guys are gonna sing the same stuff, and it just got, it got a little annoying.
Yeah, they had the movie room.
They had the movie room.
Yeah. So you could reserve a spot to sit in the movie room and watch a movie, and they had a list of movies.
I believe you watch a movie there called My Name is Khan. Did you watch it or not?
I did because everybody told me I had to watch it.
And then I told you, I said, dude, I watched this movie. What the fuck? I walked into the movie room and the guy's like, you want to watch a movie? Watch this one. And I'm sitting there and I'm like trying not to cry my eyes out because there's like 20 other convicts in there. And I'm like, because all the bad things happened to this guy.
Yeah. He kept a great spirit. He was a great guy, right?
Yeah, he was like an autistic guy. And you guys got to watch it. And so then I tell Matt, dude, I just watched the most fucked up movie. Have you ever watched this movie? And he's like, dude, some asshole recommended it to me, and I'm sitting there holding my tears back. And I'm like, yeah, that was horrible. Yeah. But that was a movie room.
Yeah, movie room.
So, I mean, listen, you make the best. But we were talking about jobs.
Yeah, jobs.
And
why it was funny because like you have the guys that.
Oh my God.
So you have different jobs, right? You have hustles. They call them hustles. They don't call them jobs. Hustles.
There's a prison hustle.
Yeah. So your prison hustle is some guys. And I had many, many different prison hustles. One, what started off as when I was in county jail, I drew portraits of people.
That's a big hustle.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You can charge a lot of money. So a lot of money for prison. So,
yeah.
But I could charge $20, $30 for a
lot of stamps.
Yeah. And sometimes it would be $10. Sometimes they charge $10 and it might take me 2 hours to do it, but $5 an hour sitting in a county jail where you can't leave the unit is a lot of money.
Where if you're an orderly, you make like $10 a month.
Right. So I would draw a picture a day or 2 pictures a day, and I'm doing well. Keep in mind, I never had anybody send me money until I got, so for 4 years, I never asked for anyone to send me money. It wasn't until I got to the low and started writing full time that I realized I'm going to need money on TrueLinks.
And that was because you were running a business. You need a capital.
Right. Up until I started writing, like my mom was constantly, I think my mom did send me 50 or $100 one time. I think she sent me 50 or $100.
Shit, bro.
Yeah. And that was only because she was like, look, you need things in there. Mm-hmm. You know? And I got lucky when I first got to the medium, I had a cousin that was actually in prison. His name was Reese Townsend. And as soon as I got there, he got me a bunch of stuff. And I was like, look, I don't really have any money, but I can get my mom to send, it's pathetic.
Yeah.
But I can get my mom to send in money. He's like, no, you don't have to pay me anything. Don't worry about it. Reese's mother had died when he was incarcerated, and he got a chunk of money. And my brother-in-law managed the money and would just send him money. So he's like, don't even worry about it. Reese had the place locked up.
But I'll tell you one. Sorry to interrupt you here, but it's something that I got to tell these guys. They're always talking about, the prison code. You broke the code, bro. You broke the code. Yeah. There is a prison code.
Right.
The camaraderie in prison is unfucking believable, bro. I got moved a lot.
Yeah.
So every time I went to a new prison, guys were like, listen, what do you need? You need shoes, you need sweatpants, you need this, you need that. I have 2 mackerels, 3 coffees, this, that. And you're like, bro, listen, I don't have to wait to pay you back yet. No. This is for you to get settled.
Yeah.
Every prison that I went to, that is the prison code. You help the new guy that comes in. That's a must,
Yeah.
For them, not everybody.
No, but you know what's so funny is that, so I understand when you're going from prison to prison, once you've been in the prison, and you can tell when someone first came in and when someone's been around. The guy that comes in from another prison and he's been around, you walk in and then they've got a bag for you. That's what they call it. We got a bag for you. So, and they, of course, because when you first get there, you don't have shower slides, you don't have soups, you don't have razors, you don't have nothing. So they'll give you all that stuff. I mean, the institution will give you a toothbrush. It's this big. You can't even reach your molars with it.
You have the condom. Have you ever gotten the condom, the finger condom, the one that looks like it's like for ferrets?
Oh, it's horrible. So pathetic.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is they'll give you. I love the shampoo soap combo kit. It's this big, and then they give you
the little packet.
So bad. Sometimes when I think about how fucked up it is, I get anxiety. So, but usually you go there and your group or your car or your race, they come to you. You know who's the best at it was the Mexicans. The Mexicans. You're not Mexican.
I'm Hispanic, bro.
You're not Mexican.
When I went to the pen, who greeted me?
The Mexicans?
The Mexicans.
The Mexicans will give you a ton of stuff.
You have to give. I mean...
Yeah. Oh, you have to contribute.
They run a bag every week, and they build these bags. So when you come in, they're like, listen, here's your bag. Yeah. Boom, welcome.
Yeah, here's your shower slides. Here's your toothpaste. Here's your toothbrush. Here's your lock for your locker.
Your shank.
Here's your...
Everything.
Boom, boom, boom. So, so that's one thing. You're right about that. But the other thing is... But then it's funny because you talk about the new guys that come in. where it's like you don't really want to take anything from anybody because you don't know yet.
Which I've also seen too.
Yeah,
I've
where
also
it goes
seen
bad.
guys getting, I've also seen guys getting charged. But you know who they are. You know when the guys come in and they're a little soft and, and then you see because we have predators, we have identified predators. They look at that guy and they're like, hey, come here, bro. What do you need? You need some coffee? You need here,
something.
Why don't you move to my cell? I got the bottom bunk open. You get the bottom bunk, don't worry about it. And you're almost telling the guy like, don't.
It's all bad.
Don't take the bottom bunk. He's going to sleep with you on that bottom bunk. That's not good.
Yeah. So, but we're talking about.
But we talk about the jobs.
Jobs.
So the hustles, the different hustles.
You were talking about the guys.
What did you do? Which one? What was your hustle?
So
You said portraits,
first
right?
I drew portraits. Then when I got to the low,
You were the writer guy.
No, I'm sorry. When I got the meter. Well, I'm sorry, meter. What am I saying, bro?
The meteor?
So when I got to the medium, so in the county jail, I drew portraits. In the medium, I started teaching the real estate class, and I taught GED.
Correct.
In the low, I started. I taught the real estate class, and I started writing.
Correct.
But that's the difference between having an education and being sharp. And look, out here, I feel like, I'm a sharp guy. I'm not like super sharp in compared to everybody else. But in prison, I am.
You're a commodity.
I am a rocket scientist. I am a superhero genius in prison.
You add to that being bilingual.
Right.
Dude, and I was like, I told somebody, I was a fucking unicorn.
Yeah.
Because people will come to me and go like, when I went to the pen, the Mexicans come to me and they're like, hey, listen, bro, you speak very good English. The counselor in the unit is an asshole. Can you go talk to him? I said, yeah, dude, what's the problem? He said, dude, he's a white piece of shit.
Right.
I said, I got it. Those are my kind. So I walk in and the guy has a Minnesota Vikings poster in his wall. And big guy, he's chewing tobacco, and I walked in and I go, hey, how are you doing? He goes, you're Sanchez, right? You're the new guy. And I said, yeah, you're a Vikings fan, eh? He goes, what do you know about that? I said, I don't know. You're from Minnesota? He goes, yeah. I said, where from? He goes, what do you know about Minnesota? I said, just tell me where you're from. He goes, I'm from Duluth. I said, bro, I know more about Duluth than you know. He goes, come on, tell me something. I said, yeah, you go to this street, and there is a bar here, and there's a bar there, and I remember I used to go party here, party there. And he goes, how do you know that? I said, bro, I went to school in St. Cloud, Minnesota. He goes, you were in St. Cloud? I said, yeah, I was one of the two brown guys in St. Cloud, bro. It was me and another dude. He goes, man, I have to call somebody. So he calls the lieutenant, and he's from St. Cloud. And he's like, you went to St. Cloud? And I'm like, bro, we used to party at the red carpet, and we used to party at this place, and Howie's, and I was a fraternity guy. He's like, man, I used to go to the same places. And I said, and you are about the same age that I am? He goes, yeah. So you and I party probably at the same bars. He's like, yeah, we probably did. Man, from that point on, I was the Mexican hero. Because I could, of course, then, so you all know, then you develop hustles. So I was like, listen, man, there is some people here that want to switch cells.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I tell you? Don't worry about it. You tell me who wants to switch cells. So then I will go back and say, listen, for $100, I can get you whatever bed you want. Oh, I'll just put it on my books. So they will put them on in my books, and I will move them to different cells. I will give them fake jobs because on the pen, everybody has to work.
Guys will sell their cells.
Of course.
Like if you have
TV view.
Yeah, if you're in a good cell where maybe you can see the TV, like you said, or maybe it's even an extra foot wider because it just happens because of the architecture. It happens to be in an area where it's an extra foot by 8 or 10 feet, so that's a bigger cell, and it's a corner cell or it's in the back.
It's a 10% increase in size.
Right. So you can then guys would come in and they'd say, look, you and this guy are bunkies. I want to be this guy's bunkie. And then the bunkie's like, yeah. Bro, can he move it? Yeah. Okay. Well, how much to move out?
Yeah.
And it'd be like, $100, $200. I knew a guy that paid like $1,000 because these two brothers wanted to be in the cell together. They were they were brothers. So that when the one brother came in, he'd been there a week or two, moved him right in, put $1,000 on the other guy's book to move out.
By the way, this also happens when they want to move their bitch in.
Oh, well, yeah.
Listen, you need to get out, and I'll pay you to move out because I'm moving Johnny. Because, Johnny does the sucky.
Because I love Johnny.
Because I love Johnny. I decided to leave my wife for Johnny, which happens.
Oh.
Remember the two guys that work in education, in vocational? Paul.
Oh yeah, Paul and oh wait, no, and Ron. Paul and Ron. Yeah.
Paul was married with kids.
Yeah.
Met Ron in prison. Fell madly in love. Then got caught fucking in the shower.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. And they shipped them.
They ship him.
And you know what happened, by the way?
He went back to his wife, I believe, or something. They broke up.
I know they. Oh, I didn't know you knew they broke up.
Yeah, I was still in Coleman when that happened.
He was so upset.
You know, he had a cup with Paul's picture in it, which I drew, and because that was my hustle, by the way. I used to tattoo the mugs, and put like whatever they wanted. So he gave me a picture of his boo, and I tattooed it, and I gave it back to him, and he carried Paul everywhere and put him in his mouth. And
So the point is, Connor.
And then Paul left him.
Don't go to prison.
Yeah. Well, the showers. You were there when the guy with the tits.
Oh, of course. I was there with 3 different guys.
Yeah, there was one that
breasts.
looked like a crackhead, but there was another one that looked like not a crackhead, and that was like a little perturbing. The tall.
Bro, wait.
He had a woman's name, Gina or Angie.
No, they all gave him a woman's name, but
but this one had changed his name legally.
Oh, okay. What did
that was in the drug program?
Yeah. Oh, that's the one. That's the one that got caught after the drug program got caught, lost like the year got caught because he was blowing blowing a bunch of guys.
And he had a journal.
Yes.
And he was like, I wrote everybody that I fucked here. I'm gonna post this, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
How
And
much for
Dr.
the book?
Smith called him in, and I think he lost his year.
He lost every. Yeah.
I could call my old cellie. Remember my old cellie?
Who?
Miss Smith. Miss Smith. Remember the transgender?
The black?
Yes. Look, we're friends on Facebook.
Oh Lord, I don't even want to ask. I think I'm gonna.
Oh, wait. Oh my God.
Well, he should know.
So funny.
He should know the name. I want to say it was like Gina or Angie or it was a name like that. It was a short name.
Yeah. It was like Ariel or whatever. Yeah.
But it was perturbing because he had huge tits.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
there was
tits.
one that came in, had fake tits and the fake ass implants.
And he had changed his face and he looked and he had like a little diamond
cheek
here.
implants.
So this is weird because you're in a men's prison and you're walking into the chow hall, that's where we eat, and all of a sudden you look at a table and you see these huge tits and a tight shirt, and your eyes immediately go to the tits, and then you go, oh my God, that's a dude. And then you feel like the crying game. You want to go to the shower and, I'm so dirty, because you're like checking out the tranny. Yeah, it was just...
I can't find...
But you know what's crazy? That guy will walk around the rec yard.
Yeah.
And you see all these guys taking their shirts
Oh,
off.
of course.
And doing pull. Come on, put some weight. I mean, you guys are pathetic. You know that guy has a dick probably bigger than yours.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are some of the... Also, going back to the prison hustles, I used to make fun of... by the way, cell phones are a big hustle. And there was an article the other day that I posted on my Facebook page, and how some BOP officers got busted because... Are you calling Miss Smith?
I'm trying.
Oh my God, that's scary. Gabrielle?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, this is horrendous.
Real name's... Hold on. Real name's Greg.
That's funny. No.
That's too bad.
Listen, he can talk with a mouthful. Mama told him.
Jesus.
Oh, sorry. I had to say
know.
that. So,
Right.
it's...
Wait, hello?